Hammers, bats, giant fists, rockets, guns, blades, all of these serve as very formidable weapons against many foes, and truth be told, serve as incredibly impressive results when you ask a career pilot, a retconned Marine, or a social welfare worker / teacher to create constructs from their minds through an emerald ring that is powered with space magic. But what if one of those rings was given to an artist? But not just any artist, Kyle Rayner. Raised as an only child to an Irish mother, but with a father who was a CIA agent working under the alias of Aaron Rayner at the time of meeting Kyle's mother. Kyle grew up to work as an incredibly talented comic book artist living in Los Angeles when one visit would change his life and the universe of lanterns forever. Kyle's visitor was Ganthet, the last standing guardian of the universe after Hal Jordan had attacked and killed other lanterns and the rest of the Guardians. With a simple utterance of, "You will have to do," or later, "It would seem I chose well," Ganthet passed the last known ring to Rayner, knowing he was the only and last chance to keep peace in the universe, to maintain the order the Lantern Corps existed for. This ring bore a massive weight and a heavy burden. But not for Kyle. At first, he was not entirely concerned with the power and responsibility bestowed upon him until the murder of his girlfriend, partner, and driving force for embracing the role. Guilt, grief, anger, fear, sadness, name the emotion. It is guaranteed that Kyle felt it in this moment, but chose not to let it defeat him. Instead, Kyle rose to the responsibility. Kyle began his quest to be everything a lantern is and everything they should be, to be the best. This is where the artistic skill comes in. Complex constructs, some questionable, like actual comic book characters, others simply amazing, like massive mech suits or future weapons. His constructs went beyond the predictable, which kept Kyle beyond the predictable. Kyle has subsequently been through numerous incredible journeys as a Green Lantern, even facing an evil entity that was created by Kyle's own fear and anger made real with the power of the ring. After the defeat of this foe, called Oblivion, Kyle briefly became a god called Ion. Briefly because it became too much, so he used the power to restore the power to Oa and create new Guardians. Now, being special is an understatement when referencing the character and Lantern, Kyle Rayner. Beginning as what seemed like a chance of opportunity, later becoming a modest Green Lantern confronted by rings across the spectrum. Kyle is easily a favorite among the Lanterns and is only in store to grow a larger admiration along more incredible storylines. Now, McFarlane Toys has brought another version of this favorite to collections with a representation of a Blue Lantern. Hey everyone, my name is Jonathan, aka JK of JK Collects, and in this episode, we are taking a closer look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Kyle Rayner Blue Lantern. Hey everyone, welcome back, and here we have it, the DC Multiverse McFarlane Toys, the gold label Blue Lantern Kyle Rayner. What a cool figure. I just love the blue color of this one. But let's start around here on the back, and we can see a nice, as usual, artist representation of Kyle Rayner. I like this drawing. I like the style of it, right? A little bit more raw, looks more like a sketch kind of. Either way, I'm a big fan of it, and I like that every artist representation around on the back is different. It's not always that same art style. Let's check out the other side here. We've got, look at all that font, right? So this is the Blue Lantern, Kyle Rayner, War of the Green Lanterns, right? And there's that sticker that started to show up on some of these. I notice it's inconsistent on the sides that it shows up as well. I'm guessing they have it on this side because if we look at this other side, we see that there is a QR code now that we can scan to get a little bit more information. Look, it shows a little digital card and everything like that. Shows where you can get it on the App Store or on Google Play. But what matters most is there's our side view of old Kyle Rayner. And let's whip it around to the front here. What a fantastic representation. But let's do that exploded view, and there's everything that comes with Kyle right there. So we've got the figure itself, we've got the stand, we've got the card, the front and back. Two representations of his powers, very excited to see that. And then we have the Blue Lantern, all of these in that clear plastic. But you know what? Let's bring it back into the package. We didn't come here to take a look at this way, right? We came here to take a closer look at the figure itself. So without further ado, let's bust into this one. And there he is himself, our Blue Lantern Kyle Rayner. The blue on this is just absolutely radiant. I don't know that the camera is doing it justice. It seems like it's showing through a little bit lighter. It's more of an electric blue, and I am a big fan of it. I hope you get a chance to see it. If you want one, definitely pick it up because it already looks amazing. And clearly, it is a lot of reuse, right? We already have, what, 2 or 3 Kyle Rayners that have been produced so far? But they've all been Green Lanterns, and this is a Blue Lantern version. So nothing really new, nothing special to expect, no kind of magic revelations on this. He's just in blue, right? But I mean, look at the face sculpt, right? So very well done. I like the mask on it, and I appreciate that it is a raised portion. It's not just painted on the face. The eyes are whited out because, you know, it just magically happens when you're wearing a mask in comic books. I like the smirk on his face, right? It really sells the Kyle Rayner attitude. And the hair is just fantastically done. The little curls coming down loose from the overall mop that's on there. But yeah, so a very well done, very well sculpted hair, as we've seen before with old Kyle Rayner. So no big surprises there. I do appreciate that the neck is attached to the torso and the head is separate from it. So we have that mobility that we're getting to see a lot more frequently from McFarlane Toys. I mean, look at that. Look at this side to side. That's amazing, right? And then the up and down, the hair kind of gets in the way, but it does tuck behind the collar a little bit. I don't know if you saw it, it kind of popped. And then forward, we've got almost chin to chest on that, but very excellent there. So of course we've got full Exorcist rotation. No surprise on that because there's just nothing getting in the way and it's on that ball joint. So we've got excellent movement. And then we have the butterfly joint for the arm with excellent rotation capability. Bicep, tricep, will it travel all the way around? It is a bit tight, but yes, it will. It definitely makes it. Double pinned elbow, excellent flexibility on that. I don't mind the pins because we get an excellent product from McFarlane every single time. We'll stretch that out, right? So no forearm rotation as usual, but we do have that full wrist rotation with the McFarlane wobble capability thanks to the way that joint is created into a circular holding hand. It's a grip hand for sure. You can definitely tell this is designed to hold the lantern that comes with him, right? That we saw in the exploded view. The other arm has the same articulation, except it does have the ring on his finger. That's one thing that I'll say I'm a little disappointed at, is the ring is just the same color as the cast blue plastic on his hand. I feel like something could have been done to draw it out a little bit, maybe a little bit of silver paint or something to make the band of the ring show instead of just the blue of the stone. But what do I know? Okay, I digress. Moving on, we have full motion in the mid-torso area. So he can arch backwards and he can arch forward a little bit. Not a whole lot though, right? So it's just like the musculature and the sculpt of it is kind of getting in the way. So it doesn't really arch backward a whole lot. Doesn't really arch forward a whole lot. But that's okay because no matter how far it goes, the texture and sculpting do follow as well as the color. So I do appreciate that. We do have waist rotation. And with the flexibility of this crotch piece, we do get that flexibility that kind of takes care of some of the gap that would show up, but, you know, a little bit does still appear depending on how he's rotated, because it doesn't really have that belt that some things have that kind of keep a little bit more of a form. But it's not bad despite any showing up, regardless of how it's turned. And then, of course, we do have that typical McFarlane joint for the tops of the legs. So we almost have a full Kyle. There it is. There's the Blue Lantern split. So way to go, Kyle Rayner. Excellent job. Now, I had this stuck in a, we'll say a dragon punch pose for quite a while. And this did bend up and stay in place, but it found its way back down pretty well. So I'm very happy about that. Even with that rubberized plastic getting stuck in place, it does restore itself back to shape. No upper thigh rotation, but we do have that double knee for excellent flexibility, as usual. And then we'll bring that down. No calf rotation, but we do have that excellent ankle bit right there integrated into the boot. So that gives us an excellent forward, backwards, and toe articulation with ankle breaker capability. That just looks painful, right? That looks like you got your foot stuck in a blender. And then the other leg has that same articulation. Now, paint apps, not really a lot of opportunity for that, right? As you can see, there's not a whole lot. There's a little bit of blue on the black, and you can see there's some spots where it's not quite perfect. But all in all, it's a very clean looking figure. And I appreciate this logo being printed on there. It's printed on very cleanly. Whatever method they use, it's painted / printed on there very well. And most of the blue does meet the lines very well. There's just the occasional spot where it's not quite perfect, but that's okay, because it is a beautiful looking figure. It's yet another Kyle Rayner, and it's a lovely Blue Lantern version of Kyle Rayner. How many Blue Lantern opportunities are we going to get? Not many. So there he is. I hope you enjoy it. I definitely think it's a good figure. If you get a chance, pick it up. I don't think you'll regret it. Well, that about brings us to the end of this episode. Thank you, as always, for taking the time to join us. If we ever do a review of something that you are trying to find for yourself, please follow us and DM us on Instagram at JKCollectsToys so we can help with the search if we don't already have a way of getting one. Also, if you enjoyed this episode, let us know in the comments, and let YouTube know by subscribing and clicking that like button. It really helps out the channel, because the more that happens, the more YouTube will recommend us, so we can also hopefully reach even more collectors and help them find the things that they need. And if you'd like to see some more videos, we have some links on your screen right now for you to check out. But remember, as always, collecting or not, we are all in this world together. Let's look out for each other. Thanks.